Hello, and welcome to another episode of Mrs. Motormouth. I'm your host, Chipper Robinson, and today you find me in my bed, in my apartment, in the city of New York. For those who are watching, sorry about the shitty ass angle. I just didn't feel like moving my camera, and it's just the easiest setup without getting into the nit grit. And yeah, sorry, I'm feeling slumped. Um, as I said in my last episode, this daylight saving nonsense is getting to me. So, yeah. Ugh, I hate being mentally ill. I wish I kind of wish I had one of the good mental illnesses, you know, one that would like get me to do shit. Shouldn't wish I didn't have these other ones. I don't know how people do shit. I can barely can do much. I'll tell you what, I ain't making any sense. Okay, y'all, let me tell you what, I've been stressed. Oh, I realized I kind of like fell off. Okay, let me tell you about my annoyance of the week, and then let me tell you about my anxiety. There you go. I kind of forgot I was doing that for a sec. Well, anyways, double A, baby. All right, so my annoyance for the week. It's always customers. It's always customers. I just don't understand, like, why do people have to just be freaks all the time? And, like, why are you going into a business on the phone and then interacting with the employees there, but prioritizing your phone call? Girl, fuck you. Like, that sucks. That sucks. That's so lame. I had a woman, like, basically shush me, like, shoo me off when I'm literally doing my job. Not my business. You're on the phone. Not my problem. You're in my place of business. I gotta do a spiel. Let me do my spiel. I don't know if you just heard my boyfriend say damn really loud. I don't think so. But he's watching Game of Thrones and he kind of fell off in like the second, third season, which is crazy because like now I'm like rewatching it with him and I fucking forgot how good the fourth season is. Like it's actually ridiculous. Like it's actually kind of insane. And I even like started continuing to watch episodes without him because I just forgot how good it was and I was like feeling nostalgic because I watched the show originally with like my friends I used to live with. Like I used to live with three of my best friends who I miss so much. Guys, okay, guys, emo moment. I miss having a best friend. I have plenty of best friends. They just don't live in my city. I have friends, but not here. Like I don't have like a best friend here. And like temporarily my best friend moved here. I think I mentioned this, like her bedroom in her apartment burned down. Oh, then she moved home, got hit by a car. Girl can't get a break. She's fine. She's so fine. Just like sprained ankle. And I think it's better now. But yeah, but also like to be fair, she's 23 and this it's just so I was telling another friend about like my friends all know each other, so I'm like catching them up and stuff. And this friend who I was talking to was like not online, so I knew she didn't know about the car accident and all that shit. Which I mean, my friend was on the bike, the one who got hit. So but I guess it's still a car accident. Anyways, so I was telling her about that, and she's like, "How old is she again?" And I was like, 23, and she was like, "Oh, that is just so early 20s." Because yeah, it really is. And you know what? Okay, wait, hold on. I'm like really jumping around here. Let me like go back a little bit. Okay, yeah. So like being emo cuz like I don't necessarily have a best friend here and like I just have to like work on my friendships and I'm glad I'm like who I am and where I'm at with my life and like my mental health right now and like the confidence that I've like finally have gained and like courage and assurance that like I am that bitch. Otherwise, I would be feeling like really lonely and like I'm so susceptible to loneliness. But like I think I'm managing it really well, especially because I've just gotten so comfortable with being by myself and enjoying time with myself. So that helps. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously I have a strong core belief that like life is lonely. Um, but it's again, it's really tough to be best friendless. I'm someone who always has a best friend. And one of my best friends, we've been besties since like I was in middle school. So obviously it's like hard to be around your best friends, but like when I moved to Boston and so I was previously living with three of my best friends, that transition was easy and nice and fun and like I had like kind of like my chosen found family. And like not to say like I don't okay, so like obviously or as you know, like I live with my boyfriend, so like but that's different, you know? Like there's I think honestly, actually I think this whole like living in the city, if I didn't have him or a best friend, it would be like so over for me. Not great. So like he does give that also that string stability, but it's like, I still miss, you know, friendship and I miss best friends and the feeling of that. Like I have my boyfriend. Again, that's why it's like not as bad as it could be, but like it's just not the same, you know? And also my whole life I don't want that to revolve around him or have that sort of dependency. Like he gives me stability, of course, but I also want that from friendships and other people. Like I want a world outside of my apartment and life with him, you know? That's very important to me. Independence, in summary. So, anyways, all that to say, I think part of what was entertaining for me to revisit Game of Thrones is a couple winters ago, to like combat the seasonal depression, my roommates and I watched Game of Thrones together, and it was so much fun, and it really got me through that period, especially because it was like, I have a shitty day, but like at least I'm not bedrotting, like and like I would have in the past. Like, I always have Game of Thrones to look forward to, and then of course when it's like really good before it was like really bad, it was like something really exciting to look forward to. But we really spaced it out. Like we didn't binge it. We would do like an episode or two per night, maybe three if it was really that good. And we started forming like inside jokes around it and adding commentary. We even like downloaded a soundboard at one point. And this is like when the show was like shitty, but we were like, we're finishing it. So like we had like a soundboard that we would like cue for different shitty moments. So, anyways, I was feeling nostalgic about that. And yeah, I miss them. And I miss having a best friend. And ugh, I hate having to like reach out to people and like, ugh, and that's when I like start to get email because I'm like, why don't people reach out to me? And then I'm like, girl, bullshit. I literally got invited for plans tomorrow night. Like, I'm so silly. I'm so silly. I have to like, you have to remind yourself of this shit, or you'll just like create silly false narratives, and that's just not even the reality. And I think I'm like starting to bug out because like I actually have the weekend off, so I'm like, oh my God, I should like do some really epic shit. Like, oh my God, I literally rarely get Saturday and Sunday, and I have Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm like, damn, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know who to hit up. And then I think I'm starting to like just put like too much pressure on it. Like it's really not that serious. Like I should just do whatever I feel like. And if anything, the rest will be nice. And like to have 2 days off in a row will be a good reset. And, you know, maybe I'll finally get my life together. I literally was like um going through my notes on my phone and like deleting bullshit that like was related to work. And literally I just have this note that says get fit, writing groups, vocal lessons. Girl, what? Okay. I know. I keep wanting to get like do like voice training cuz like a really delusional part of myself thinks that I could be a really talented vocalist. And like in another life, I was totally a musician. Like I was so meant to be an early 2000s pop star. Like, talk about being born too late. Um, but like also I just like I feel like with me and music, I'm just missing that piece that makes a musician. And unfortunately, that's not me. But when I was younger, like I would write songs all the time and make up little melodies. I just like for the life of me could not learn an instrument. But and I don't think I really have a good voice. Well, I think I have a great voice. Actually, I love my voice. It's other people who think that I don't have a good voice. So, hey. So anyways, part of me is like a little delulu that like I could get like vocal lessons and then like legitimately carry a note and have pitch and like be a good singer and like that would just give me joy. Then maybe when I sing, those who live with me don't find it so grating. They actually like love it. And then they can hear what I already hear in my head, you know? But anyways, one of those days I'll get vocal lessons. It's honestly never too late. And this old teammate, I'm not gonna totally pursue how old she was. Maybe she was like in her 40s. I hate to be wrong. But anyways, she yeah, like was like, "Oh yeah, I just started like taking like, vocal lessons like a couple years ago and now I'm in a choir." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sick." It's so sick. It really is never too late. And actually, I already knew that because one time there was this like one time, girl, what? Way back, there was this Camp Rock promo that they would play all the time on Disney Channel. And literally, Demi Lovato was like, anybody can sing. You can all sing. It's never too late to sing. You just need some lessons. Someone find me that, please. That I think stuck with me. I'm like, even now, I'm like, it's never too late. All I need is lessons and I'll be a talented singer. Like, whatever. Okay, so my anxiety this week, girl, getting promoted and then shit actually mattering because, like, now you have to answer for that sucks. Sucks, dude, sucks. This added responsibility and weight and stress. Like, I can't even, like, key at my job like I used to. Like, I'm fucking so serious, like, all the time. It's so lame. It's so lame. And like I'm trying to chill out and like not be so serious. It's just like there's just always so much to do and so much pressure. And I have to so that's been like mega major anxiety. I need a massage. I need another tattoo. I need a pedicure. I need like clear skin, even though it's pretty clear, but like clearer. I need a six pack. I need my feet to not hurt. I need foot massages every day. I need my hair played with every day. Like, this is the self care that I just like can't afford, can't get, won't happen. I need to alleviate this stress, y'all. I'm stressed. Work is so stressful. And I have to go do this event tomorrow morning. Guys, I have to, like, I don't work a 9 to 5 for a reason. In this house, we sleep in till at least 9 o'clock. And I have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Bro, that blows. Oh, I'm pissed. I'm pissed about it. Oh, God, that sucks. I mean, it's gonna be like a kind of easy day at work, and like, that's fine. But I'm not even gonna be at my own store. I'm so brave. I'm so strong. Damn it. And I gotta plug in my laptop. It's about to die. Why is my life so hard, bro? Okay, hold on. Pause. Yeah, I'm probably gonna keep this episode short because I'm just feeling like lame and bleh, you know, and whiny and annoying and not funny or interesting. And see, like when I feel this way, I just want to not do shit like this, but like I know I should, I know I want to. It's like, again, I'm not shared this podcast with anybody. I'm genuinely doing this for myself. So, unfortunately, part of that is also holding myself accountable, even when I have moments like this where I just don't fucking feel like it. Also, I just feel so boring. My life feels so boring and like it's fine, you know, and it comes and goes, but then it's also like, why the fuck am I living here paying this rent if my life's gonna be this slow? Anyways, y'all, on another note, something I've really been wanting to speak on is and something that like no one talks about is the fact that like the pigeons that live in Boston, dude, I feel so sorry for them. They are in a domestic violent relationship with seagulls. Or I don't know, maybe it's just like really bad bullying, or you can't even call it like territory gang wars because like the pigeons aren't even fighting back. Like, so I used to, like, my commute to and from work, I used to have to, like, transfer buses at Nubian Square Station, whatever, in Roxbury. I, the pigeons there, dude, and I mean, it's all over the city, but, like, I really noticed it there. Like, those motherfuckers were getting beat the fuck up. I've never seen so many, like, okay, first of all, someone correct me if this is like not a politically correct term, but like disfigured pigeons. Like I've never seen that many. Like missing claws or not even claws, but like toes. Can you call them toes? I don't know. Missing whole ass feet. Like what the hell? Peg leg pigeons, y'all. I only saw like one so far in New York. One pigeon with a fucked up foot. Only one. It was every day in Boston. Every day. And I blame those motherfucking seagulls. I hate seagulls, dude. Worst part about living near water is seagulls. Not only just because they're assholes, but it's just like you can be in the heart of a city and see a seagull, and that's just not right. It's just not right. You're supposed to only see those bitches on beaches, you know? Fighting over whatever crumbs you left in the sand. Why am I in downtown Dublin and I see a seagull? Why am I hearing them squawk? And all I see is cobblestone streets. That's bullshit. I hate that. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. I think it's stupid. But anyways, I used to watch them get into it with the pigeons and just like be these fucking big ass, bitchy ass, stupid ass little birds. Like they were assholes, man. I hate them. Trash birds for real. I'm a pigeon truther. I don't know so much about, I mean, people say like what, we abandon them, blah blah blah. I got mixed emotions on that. I got to do some more research and trust and believe. I do have a pigeon book I'm about to read at some point in my life because I do find them very fascinating birds. Um, but I do kind of feel sorry for them. I mean, my pigeon, a pigeon. I was in a park like last week, and what was I eating that fell? I think I was just eating like, the hell was I eating? Oh, I was eating was that when I was eating those pastries? I was eating something sweet. And like obviously it was a little messy and it got on the ground. Why is this pigeon eating that? I was like, you're not supposed to be eating that. That's not for you. Oh, I remember it was yeah, it was a pastry. And it had it was like a Danish or something. It had like feta cheese in the middle. And like, yeah, I get it. It wants to eat like the little like everything bagel type of seasoning that was on it. Fine. Those are like little seeds. I think that's fine for them. But why is the pigeon eating feta? The little feta that fell on the ground? That's not right. So I feel sorry for him. And they're beautiful birds. I really think they are. And I love their little necks. I like how it's like iridescent. They're beautiful in the way that like oil from a car in a parking lot's beautiful, you know? And I would love to own a pigeon or even like a intelligent bird like a crow, but I don't think there's something right about owning birds. And I do kind of judge people. I can't even lie. I do hold judgment in my heart for people that own birds. I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that's fair. They have the whole sky, and you think they're happy in your home? That doesn't sit right with me. I would almost say the same about fish if they weren't so stupid. If memory of a goldfish, seriously, where we get that phrase because they don't have much of one, was it like 3-second memories? Now, if they had that kind of memory, if they were like fish and stupid, sure, I maybe wouldn't feel so bad for them. But yeah, no, I saw this man on TikTok. I love stingrays. Also, I think research into stingrays is underdeveloped, and I do think scientists, marine biologists need to get on that shit. Because I think stingrays are actually incredibly intelligent. I think they are understudied. I feel like we don't really know a lot about them just per my very surface level Wikipedia research on them. So, I think we should kind of face our attention to them. I think we could learn a lot. And when the day comes that, oh, breaking news, stingrays, da 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 da, y'all can come back to me and I can let you know I already knew that. But, anyways, I think they're just kind of like little dogs of the sea. I think they're adorable. Look, where was I? I was in Quebec City and we went to their aquarium and we went into like the stingray area. So, like a lot of aquariums, you can like touch them. Why they know exactly where the people working there were, and the people working there had treats for them. Why did they know exactly where that guy was? And he'd move around the tank. How'd they know that? He was outside the tank. He wasn't in the water. How'd they know where he was? They kept finding him. I've never seen stingrays greet a person like they did with him. Damn near jumping out of the water to get treats from him. Getting like coming up for pets for him. That was unreal. I have video evidence of this. I don't think people would believe it. And I tried to research about that. Nothing. That's what I'm saying, y'all. And then there was like a weird moment because like, why is there a parrot in that room? Whoever put that shit together, girl, what? Canadians. Anyways, but yeah, there's like a parrot in a cage in that room. Well, stingrays got riled up about something. Then the bird starts squawking. It gets a little crazy, suddenly calms down. That was really strange. Anyways, all I say, I saw this guy on TikTok. He's got this whole like setup for his stingrays in his basement. And on one hand, I'm like, that's so sick. I wish I had the time, the money, the dedication for something like that. But that is so cool. And I love stingrays. Same time, why are they in your home? Why aren't they in the ocean? That's not right. That's not fair. They should be in the ocean. They shouldn't be in your home. That's just not right. They're too intelligent to be stuck in your home. I personally don't think the enclosures that they put stingrays in is adequate enough. I think the Georgia Aquarium, well, I need to revisit that one, but it seemed a little more homely than at least the one in Quebec. In Quebec, that might as well have been a big ass kiddie pool. And from what I remember, and this is a long time ago, but at the Georgia Aquarium, they at least had plants in there. There's like sand at the bottom, and had that in Quebec City. Canadians, y'all. Mm-mm-mm. But Georgia Aquarium can't help being that girl. She is the greatest, the baddest, the greatest. Ooh, and I would love to scuba dive there. That would be so fun. I see people do that. I want that kind of connection. That seems fun. I think I would be scared on my little boots, but it could be neat. I have an aunt and uncle that scuba dive. I think they're in their 70s now, or my aunt's about to be. I think they're still scuba diving. Isn't that crazy? You know what they used to do? We used to have to go over their house and they'd be back from scuba diving somewhere beautiful, right? And they would make us sit through hours. hours of footage. No cuts, no montage, no music, just gurgling water. Girl. Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm. But I will say, my uncle had the funniest clip one time. A stingray was trying to eat my aunt's hair. It was pretty funny. Thought it was fierce. I wish I was a better swimmer. Maybe I could be a scuba diver girl. I could like inherit all their equipment. Hey, hey, I may not be getting any type of generational wealth, but scuba diving equipment for free, I consider that wealth. And that's generational. Okay, I kind of like perked myself into a good mood. Just talking about stingrays. I sometimes get fixated on animals and I just spend hours on TikTok just watching videos about them. I think if I was more into school and more of a dedicated person, I think in another life I totally could have been a zoologist. I think that's really cool. I think the biggest thing that drew me back was I don't like seeing animals bleed. And I think that's another reason why I didn't want to be a vet is I do love animals, but I don't want to see them hurt. I don't want to see them bleed. I don't want to see their insides. And that's also another reason why I can't be a taxidermist because I think, girl, is that even right? I don't know. Anyways, I love taxidermy. I think it's a really cool art. I find it very fascinating, very cool. I would like to own some taxidermy of myself, not of myself, but myself. I mean, maybe of myself. I don't know. I actually have talked with my mom what we're gonna do if I have to lose a limb, because I've spent quite amount of money on my skin tattooing it. That yeah, I would totally freeze my arm or something, put it on display, because well, I like to consider myself my body as like its own little art gallery. So yeah, it'd be really shitty to lose a medium for it. So I probably would freeze an arm. Anyways, all I say, I don't know if I would ever own taxidermy of an animal I personally knew and had a connection with. I saw this one girl get her dog's heart preserved. I thought that was neat. Might do that with my cat. But I do think taxidermy is cool. And I think I like when they get a little silly with it. They put a frog in a costume. That's hilarious. I want to go to more taxidermy museums. Don't bother me. It smells like mothballs. Ooh, the taxidermy in the Harvard Natural History Museum or whatever. Fire. So awesome. Reeks of mothballs. But I think it's really interesting how I think it's like a couple hundred years old, that taxidermy. Very cool. Very cool way to study animals or see animals like extinct or on the verge of extinction or animals you would never see in a zoo. And I think there's an ethical way to go about it. Anyways, I wish I had the stomach though. I think it would be something I'd be into if I had the stomach. I knew a girl who became an amateur taxidermist. One of the coolest bitches I know, that's for sure. Um, she was on a rap album cover, very random. Cool girl. I hope she's doing well, actually. I haven't seen much about her. Um, but yeah, I think taxidermy is sick. Now, I will say, you think I would then, translation. So there's that like medical bodies museum or whatever in Philadelphia. I forget what it's called. And my boyfriend and I did a weekend in Philly, and he was like, "Oh, I want to take you somewhere. I think you really like it." He took me there, and I have to say, I've never felt so sick to my stomach. I was sick in there, sick. Like okay, so not to get deep with it, but to get deep with it, it's not that I don't think that animals have souls. And I think, like, when you lose a pet, it's always nice to think that in some form or fashion in another life you meet each other. I think that's beautiful. Now, I will say though, I do fully, without a doubt, believe people have souls, and I believe in ghosts and shit like that, and the power of a body and what a body leaves behind. And the room of skulls, and knowing that the skulls were not taken ethically, and like, cause like, okay, unethical taxidermy, I can still be like, yeah, that's gross. But like humans, and I think there's also just so much more that goes into that because I think what some of those schools were Muslim, so then like the people were Muslim, and so then the Christians taking those skulls were like, well, they're Muslim and obviously they're, not going to heaven anyways. So we don't care if we like fuck with their dead bodies in their graves. That was, I don't know, just that whole, and just like, again, too many souls, too many unrest, too much unrest, and the kind of exploitation of their bodies, the fact that they never consented or had a say so. And it's just like in this museum. And I understand, like, science and the background of science and a lot of progressions, innovations, whatever, that we've made in science hasn't always come from it hasn't been done morally, to like kind of get to where we are. I understand that, but it's just something not right. Yeah, that made me really sick. I was like, we gotta wrap this up. Because I'm somebody in a museum, I want to see everything. So I still make myself see everything, but it got to the point where I felt like throwing up. Like I was sick. It was sickening to me. So, because again, it's like exploitative. Like taxidermy is an art and it's about like preserving and the integrity. And I just don't think that particular museum translated that to me. Yeah. And again, there's like layers to it. Like, okay, did you kill this animal ethically? Yes or no? All right. Well, well, okay. But then like knowing you see the different skeletons and then you know how these people are likely treated in real life because we know how people with disabilities get treated and the otherness of it all, the fact that like again, like did these people consent for their bodies to be here? Like an animal consenting, well, they don't have like the complexity, they don't have like the intelligence, but people we do, and we know, and we have the layers and the depth, and again there's just so much at play. So anyways, not quite making sense. I'm not being as eloquent as I like. Doesn't matter anyways, my camera's telling me it's gonna die. So you know what, let's wrap it up here. I said it was gonna be short. Hopefully you got past my wimpy moment and somehow understood what the hell else I was talking about. Anyways, love you, bye. Have a good week. Kisses. Talk to you next time.